All right. So,
Okay.
good day to you, Catherine. How are you today?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's late in the evening for you in Jamaica.
Yes.
It's early in the morning for
Hmm.
me in Bali. So, wonderful conversation to have. So, for the uninitiated, tell us a little bit about who you are and yeah, how you got affected by the symptoms of pelvic floor dysfunction.
Well, I'm 61 now and I'm a mother of three. And after I had my third baby, um, he the placenta didn't deliver, and so I had midwives through the birth and everything. And then they stopped a doctor on his way. I think he was going to do a C-section. So he was in a hurry and he pulled the placenta and snapped the cord, basically. So I had to have it manually removed. So my feeling is, in with hindsight, that I think this was the beginning of the prolapse for me. And about 5 months later, I had the first symptoms. Went to the doctor and was given, just the pelvic floor exercises to do and kind of sent away. And then it was sort of okay, fine for about 7 years, and then it really just fell down out. So I went to a doctor, a male gynecologist, who said, "Oh, it's not too bad. You need to get on with your life. It will either get worse or it'll stay the same." So I just basically asked him, "Well, what would you do?" Which is kind of strange to ask the man, but he just said I wouldn't do anything, which in a way was sort of a good answer for me because I didn't want to do surgery. So I thought, right, I'm doing the natural route. And I found a woman called Christine Kent who'd written a book called Saving the Whole Woman. I think that's what it's called. And just started reading that and trying to do things that she was suggesting. And there was a big forum and there was quite a community online, but still very much, didn't speak about it publicly or tell any friends or anything like that. Um, and then, but, wasn't really working. And then I went to get a second opinion, actually, a woman gynecologist who said, well, you could have an operation, you can have the mesh. But I'd read so much about that, and I just wasn't that type of. I don't want to go that route. So just really wanted to do the natural route and just kept looking because, as you said, it's a journey. Sometimes the symptoms are not too bad, and then sometimes they're very bad. And each time they're bad, you just look for other answers on the internet, and that's actually how I found Philippa. Just
Oh, beautiful.
Googling and finding her.
Yeah, I just want to come back to a couple of interesting things you mentioned there. One of them
Mm-hmm.
was the where the triggering event it sounded like with the placenta and
Mm-hmm.
so and how sort of how do you look upon that triggering event today? What were the emotional, yeah, I'm sure you've had an emotional process around that, and that's the first question. The second question is around the surgery and how you sort of
Mm-hmm.
resonated, and also can you take us through those two pivotal points that have sort of shaped your journey to where you are today?
Yes, I think when the birth trauma, I know that's what they call it now, happened, I didn't really realize it was anything but just uh just something that happened, and this is how they deal with it. I think it's only lately where women have been talking about birth trauma that I realized it was traumatic, and you're just not told anything. You're not told that this may happen. You're not told how to kind of, I don't know, take care of yourself. So yeah, it was unexpected because it was my third baby, and I thought I'd just sail through everything. And plus, I'd had two babies in Jamaica with really no problems, and then had gone to England and had one there, and it was all a little bit of a different situation, even though it's, in a developed country, I guess you feel it'll be, no problem. Um, and the surgery, do you mean when they manually removed the placenta, or
No
just
more.
the,
I mean, the option of a surgery looming when you met when
oh,
you met the woman gynecologist and
oh
had a
yeah,
second opinion.
I knew I wasn't going to do surgery. I didn't want hysterectomy. I didn't want any mesh. I just have always been very natural about all things, natural childbirth, lots of breastfeeding. I certainly I just didn't trust the process. And I thought I can do this by myself. I'm sure with diet, exercise, I can kind of not fix it, but manage it, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what did you say is the difference between fixing it and managing it?
Well, I suppose fixing it is never ever feeling it, and it's gone away and it's gone back up and all is fine. But I realize that's not going to happen, so just managing it. And actually, I was watching a video of Abby's or something she did a few weeks ago where she said it's really not about being symptom free. It's sort of just that just being less symptoms is really the goal, which I think is such a good goal, because I think of in the beginning, I think I just wanted it to be healed, but just to have less symptoms is a reachable goal, I think.
Is it fair to say that you don't feel limited by it? You can carry on with all the activities you want to do, and that's a pretty good goal rather than getting a clean sheet from
Mm-hmm.
the doctor saying that you're
Yeah.
completely healed, right? Which,
Yes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
interesting. So can I ask you, where did it start? Where have you always had the conviction that your body with the right diet and the right lifestyle changes and the right support can get better, or is that something you've trained yourself over time through
Um,
experiences?
I think it just sort of quite naturally, really. I've been really no, really lucky with health. I haven't had any major health problems. So I've just always had the conviction just with diet more than, I mean, I haven't been a big exerciser, more of late, but just with just not putting rubbish into your body. I think.
When you say it like that, it makes total sense. But when you're out there eating the third ice cream for the day, it's
I
hard,
know
obviously.
it's harder. Yeah.
No, but can you just walk us through the how the symptoms affected your daily life and sort of, yeah, the journey
Um,
that you had when you had a lot of symptoms?
oh, just feeling like very uncomfortable. Everything was difficult. Every kind of walking movement, even sitting down, there wasn't really any relief from it. And then you just feel limited, I think. It's just always there. So you feel sort of captive by it. You don't want to really try any new things. You know, even walking the boys to school was a bit sort of blah. Yeah, it just, yeah, very limiting, very uncomfortable.
What
Yeah.
was the official diagnosis that you had, if you had one? Was it prolapse or was it?
Yes, I think bladder prolapse,
Mm,
cystocele, I think is what they said. Yeah, and
mm,
not really you know, they give you numbers. I didn't really have a number, you know, or
no.
yeah. No.
That, on hindsight, would that have mattered, having sort of a grade or a number?
Um,
Or it doesn't matter for you?
not really, I don't think. No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, no, that's good.
No.
I mean, a lot of women write to us. I mean, I look at the customer support part of Moonrise, and
Mm,
look at all the emails that come in. And a lot of women write to us saying they got a grade 3 or a grade 4 or a stage 3 or a stage 4, and that's sort of the message is that it's a little too far out. Like
yes.
it's gone a little too long, and the only option is
Mm,
surgery. Given
mm.
what you know in hindsight, given the journey you've walked, what would be your 2 cents to women that are sitting there right now listening to us chat that have a stage 3, stage 4, or feel diagnosed that they're way too far into the symptoms?
Um, I would just say don't believe that. I mean, it's not that you can reverse it, but you can certainly make it feel better. And for me, I mean, I have done pelvic floor, lots of other things, but actually the hypopressives have been what's in conjunction maybe with the pelvic floor, but have been what made it feel a lot better. So
That's interesting.
just keep researching and keep trying things, I think.
Mm. Well, I mean, for somebody that it seems like, it strikes me as you're somebody who's very conscious about sort of the natural power of the body, give it good support, and the body
Mm.
will respond.
Mm.
But it also requires a commitment and a dedication, right?
Yes.
So when you discovered the symptoms and you started this path of discovery for yourself, how much
Hmm.
time did you invest in researching? How much time did you invest in trying? And what was sort of your mental approach to it? Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be, and that can be a little unnerving.
Yes, I think I think I quite like a challenge, and so it was challenging, but I'm also quite determined. So I didn't take huge amounts of time, just reading and then putting into practice posture and few exercises. It wasn't a massive amount of time really. It was just remembering to be disciplined and to do it on a daily basis, which comes and goes also. Because I did the hypopressives, I think 2 years ago, but kind of on and off. But this year, from February, it's been dedicated, and it's made a difference.
I think that's a good segue. Take us through sort of your healing toolbox. What are the things you do, and how do you do them? When do you do them?
So well, I get up 5 and we go to the beach and we swim. Well, I do 3 mornings in the gym, some walking and some swimming, and I come back and then I do 15 minutes of hypopressives 5 mornings a week. And the pelvic floor I do 4 times a day, just little 10 of each, because I went to a therapist in England a couple of years ago, and she suggested I do them. She said I had a very weak pelvic floor, so I do them. Do they help? I don't know. I don't think they help on their own. But
So when you say
I
pelvic
don't
floor,
know.
is that the Kegels? Is that what
Yes.
is that what you? All
Yeah.
right, all right.
Which
Do you
I
do it
know, which is
assisted?
just I have an app. I think if I didn't have the app, I certainly wouldn't remember, and
No.
it would have fizzled out already.
Mm. Have you tried not doing the Kegels a few weeks or a few days? Do you see any difference, or it doesn't matter for you? You just have a routine and you just.
I just have a routine. I don't think it's necessarily helps with the prolapse actually, but I know it's the standard. That's what they told me in the very beginning, which was 2002, is just to do Kegels, but I don't think it helped. And I wasn't in a routine to do them very
No,
often.
no. No, our sort of principle here is that do what feels right for you. We're not going to say don't do it or do it, but
No.
doing it not mindfully and just hoping and wishful thinking might not be the right strategy either.
Right.
So you do have it sounds like a wonderful morning routine with the beach. I do something similar since we moved to Bali here, but I mean it's such a nice way to start your day compared
It
to
is. Yeah.
I don't know how long you lived in England. I lived in Sweden, and it's such a world of difference, living
Oh,
in a
yes.
cold country, half the
Yep.
time
Yep.
it's raining, and that's good. So all right, so you have the hypopressives, you have the Kegels, so the pelvic floor therapy. You also mentioned you do some yoga and other things for your sort of general health, obviously, but also for your pelvic floor.
Yes.
Walk us through them.
Yoga, I just find something on the internet and follow modified. I know that I can't do the exercises that I can't do, like plank and boat and all those sort of things. And just use it, stretching. In the gym, I just generally do arm exercises, not too much. I just find I can't really do anything using my core. In fact, I went to the gym with my sister a couple of weeks ago, and actually was not good for me on my pelvic floor, which has taken about 2 weeks to feel a bit better. So, and it's I like the swimming. I do a lot of swimming. I think that's good for it.
Sounds like swimming and hypopressives are the only two exercises that have low pressure on your pelvic floor, and it's good that you're doing them, right?
Yes.
Because they remove the pressure from your pelvic floor and they sort of move it upwards. And hypopressives obviously does that with the breath work and the posture. What are your favorite hypopressives, flows, or how do you do hypopressives today?
I've been doing it really slowly. Like I'm just spent months doing the breath, getting the breath work, just lying down, and then added the arms, and lately sitting up and on all fours. So I'm doing it slowly and trying to do it properly.
Beautiful. No, you should take your time. And it's 15 minutes of self-guided flows. Is that what you do of hypopressives?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. So take us a little bit through your diet You mentioned
Ooh,
diet. Yeah, share as much as you feel comfortable. Diet is very personal, and
yes.
obviously there's no silver bullet here. I can just interlude by saying the following. I've been a vegetarian for 36 years, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
37. And
Wow.
the last few weeks, I've been on a carnivore diet. Uh,
Mm,
and if somebody told me like a year ago, 6 months ago, I'd be doing that, I'd be laughing at them. So here we are. I mean, diet
yes.
is very complex. So
It's very
let's thread with that disclaimer.
Okay.
But tell us what you do.
Well, sort of like you, I was vegetarian for a long time. Then I was vegan for 6 years. Then I broke my arm, and I decided that I just needed more protein in my diet. So I started, so 2 years ago, started eating chicken, eggs, fish, feel actually a lot better. My hair is thicker, and I just had to do it for my bones. So, and little things like I had a little bit of high cholesterol the other day. Don't want to go on the medicine, so I just added oats and green tea, and my cholesterol went down. So I just I just yeah, very conscious of what I put in my body. Everything I make from scratch. I mean, there are a lot of choices in the supermarket, but it's expensive. But if you go to the market, you can buy fresh produce, and I make just I make everything because I don't want to buy any processed food, and I just feel better living like that and eating like that. And I think we don't have control over many things in our life, but I absolutely have control about what I put in my mouth. So I'm quite it can be a little restrictive, like not too much, no sugar, and occasionally like I do like ice cream. But yes, I just feel better if I eat like that. So it's
Yeah, yeah,
healthy. But
yeah,
like you,
beautiful.
I didn't think I'd be eating meat. I just thought
No.
no. But actually, I think it's in I guess as you get older too, your body changes, your bones need more protein, and
Mm, mm,
so I can be flexible, sort of.
mm. Yeah, I think the significant moment for me with the change was that I tried everything for my thyroid and for my
Mm-hmm.
gut issues. Like I've had a lot of gut
Mm,
issues and digestive issues, and it just felt like I had nothing left to do with when it
mm,
comes to the food I
mm-hmm.
put in, and I have to try meat and go extreme,
Yes,
and then sort of I'm going to probably paddle back into the middle from somewhere from there
yes,
from the extreme I'm at right now. But yeah, I mean, if it feels better and you feel
mm,
better and it helps you live a better quality life and you're a better father,
yeah,
you're a better husband, you're a better wife or whatever, whatever
yes,
roles you have, I mean,
absolutely.
then
Yeah.
it plays an important role, right? So
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so. Yes, I think so. And I just think, we can, our health is for us to control it, not just because the
Mm.
doctor says you should take this. I just have to question those things, and um,
Yeah,
yeah.
interesting. I have a few more questions around. You mentioned your age a couple of times, and
Mm,
again, back to the classic question of, I'm 60 plus, or I'm
mm-hmm.
70 plus. A lot of women that are watching this are probably in their 60s, late 50s,
Yeah.
60s, early 70s, even. What's your perspective on age, prolapse, and healing?
Um, well, I don't think you have to just accept that it everything gets worse. I think you just have to I guess as I've gotten older, I realize I have to give my body more time. If that means the food I eat or doing more exercise, I just don't want to live with lots of aches and pains. So for as long as I can not do that, I will, try different things. I don't mind getting older, but certainly I think, you just need to keep trying to contain your prolapse, or try to just make it, your life have a bit more quality, and just not accept that it just keeps getting worse the older you get.
Yeah, and when did you start actively working with the symptoms, like reversing it? Was it in your late 50s or?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. 2008. Oh, that's quite a long time ago, isn't it?
16 years ago. So that was like
16
in your
years.
you
Yeah.
found your symptoms in your 40s and you started
Yeah.
working through them in your late 50s.
No, sort of when I first got the diagnosis and everything, so that was 2008-ish. I started then, but not in a dedicated fashion. And I think maybe the symptoms then, no, they were pretty bad. And yeah, partly, yes, I suppose I thought, well, this is it. Have to just suck it up. But of late, it's been a very concentrated effort. The last 2 years, I'd say, of just,
and when you got started in your late 50s of having concentrated, focus on this issue, did you ever feel that, you've sort of lost time and it's going to be an uphill battle, or that those thoughts never creeped up?
Not really, no, because I think things that I read do say that it doesn't really matter your age, and I learned with my arm that muscles respond. They just respond, because I had said that to the physio, because I'm old, is it going to take me a long time to heal? And he said no, because muscles respond. It's how much time you put in and how much you exercise. And I did faithfully do 3 times a day, 45 minutes, because I've refused to accept that my arm wouldn't have the range of motion that it used to have. And it's fine. It does have all the range of motion because I worked it, and I think that made me feel so I can work at other things now. I can
beautiful,
be dedicated.
beautiful, yeah. Beautiful. So refusing to accept the reality, I think, is half the battle won, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. It's not maybe easy, and it's not something you maybe want to do every day, but I learned, like, who benefits from this exercise? Well, me. So why would I not do it then? And
that's right.
with the hypopressives, it's 15 minutes a day in the morning.
Yeah.
And so, we can sit on our phones for an hour and not realize it was an hour.
Yeah. Hour. It's hours, right?
Hours,
But
yes.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, how was the support around you? Like,
I'd say none. Yes, yeah, really none, actually, until recently, when it's been more publicly spoken, and you can find a lot more on the internet now, and women are talking about it, aren't they? A lot more.
Yeah. But did you share this with your sister, for instance, or anybody in your family, or was it your private matter and you kept it to yourself?
Well, obviously my husband, my sister, and I mean, I have 2 sons in their 20s. They both know, and it just sort of, because we are quite an open family. But I mean, I haven't really told any girlfriends. Actually, I was swimming with a friend the other day, and her daughter works in I don't know if she's a radiologist, but she was called in to help a woman who was having a prolapse. They were trying to take, I don't know what they were doing, taking ultrasounds. And she described this to her mother as being absolutely disgusting and awful, and it looked horrific, and she was going to be sick. And so I'm swimming with her thinking, well, I'm never going to tell her I have a prolapse, because so I still think people, if it doesn't happen to you, you do think it's a horrible thing.
Should we send her the copy of the book with your story in it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe not. It's your call. You're going to get a copy anyway. No, but
thank you.
yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I work only with women these days, so I miss a lot of man company. So I spend a lot of my leisure time with men and do manly things. Lift weights, sit in the sauna, do ice plunges, play a lot of sports. Yeah, I know. So, and all my guy friends just don't get it, that this is sort of and I can imagine that there's some kind of a cycle that needs to be broken, where women are open sharing, which is happening clearly, and men are open accepting it, and because this is a personal question. You can avoid it if you like, but when when Philippa went through this, one of her biggest fears was that I would leave her as her husband because she was not able to. We were not able to be intimate. Did you have fears like that, and how did you manage that?
I didn't really, because my husband also was very, supportive, not put off by it or worried by it. So actually, I didn't have those fears. No, he was great.
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. So there's a couple of last questions, Catherine. So looking back, what do you wish you had known at the beginning of your journey with prolapse? Do you have anything that you were like, I wish I did that earlier, or I wish I knew that could be useful for women that are starting their journey today?
Well, I think I wish I'd known it was a possibility. I mean, I just had no idea. And I think I've read other women's stories where it's you just think part of you is falling out, and it's just it. So I wish that somebody had told me, or we knew that might happen. Just more, I think, more help, more women that you could perhaps come into contact with. More options from the doctors and the physios, that it's not just Kegels. There are other and things to avoid too. Yeah, I think that's it. And yes, but again, we just didn't speak about it too much though in those days.
No. Finally, what's your sort of, closing statement, if you may, for women that are listening to you or reading the book, that have clearly symptoms of prolapse or pelvic floor dysfunction and are very skeptical about what their future would look like, or very, very uncertain?
I think just don't lose hope. Research as much as you can. Find exercises that you feel comfortable with. Find other women to talk to. Yeah, I mean, it might not ever be healed, but you're not broken. It's just something that happens to lots of us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just try and find a community to, and then you see other people same as you, better than you, worse than you. I mean, it's just, yeah, you're not alone in it, and there is hope, and some days are much better than others. So just keep going.
Beautiful. Catherine, thank you so much for your
You're welcome.
for being so open, for being so brave, for breaking the mold, and for doing the work, and for being an inspiration by talking about respecting the body's process for natural healing and respecting how to listen to it, which I think is a skill that many of us have forgotten. So thank you for putting that
Yes.
back on
Well,
yeah.
thank you for all the work you do, and to Philippa too, because she's been an inspiration to me. So I thank you both for everything you do, all of your team.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have a wonderful team. Obviously, we're very dedicated with Abby and Philippa and Trista and all our teachers that believe that, we can indeed get better. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Take
One
care.
second. I'm just going to stop the recording here.